The Mizzou football team's SEC opener against Auburn down at Jordan-Hare Stadium will most likely be added to that list. I know a lot of you guys keep the list of heartbreaking losses in the final minutes for MU. Mizzou had its opportunities to take one away from head coach Eli Drinkwitz's old colleague Brian Harsin in Alabama today, but the Tigers could never capitalize. It was Tigers versus Tigers down there, Mizzou's first ever trip down there, and it was a packed one. Big crowd there. Auburn with the ball first. Robbie Ashford, the backup QB, using his legs to go right into the end zone for an early first quarter score for Auburn. The home Tigers end up making it 14-0. Mizzou's turn with the ball. Brady Cook flips it out to Cody Schrader, sneaking in for the score. So that's a little bit of momentum for MU here. Still first half, Mizzou back down by the goal line on 4th and goal. Brady Cook keeps it. A pile of jerseys on top of them, but they do call it a touchdown. So it's a tie ball game. We're going into the locker room now. That's where Mizzou wants to be, keeping up with Auburn in enemy territory. Let's get into this second half, though. This one's all about defense. Now, different QB in time. Freshman Holden Gurnier brought down a huge sack from Tyron Hopper. He had himself a game. Blake Baker definitely happy to see that. Later in the fourth, Auburn goes for 4th down. Ashford back in the handoff, and again, look, it's Hopper with the stop. Nicely done. Big defensive performance. Mizzou takes over on downs. Clock winding down. Cook finds Barrett Bannister, who's going to get pushed out of bounds. That is a first down, though. Cook drops back now, takes a shot downfield. And look who is there. Dominic Lovett. What a grab. You have to watch it again. I don't know how he came back down with that, but he did. They needed that. Down by the goal line now with 3 seconds left on the clock. The trust is in Harrison Mevis from 26-yard out, but the All-American kicker misses it. We're headed to overtime. Auburn gets it first in OT, and look at this. They nail their field goal, so Mizzou has one last chance to get a score. It's tough to do. The crowd's still electric. 4+ quarters later, Brady Cook with an opportunity here, hands it off to Nate Pete, the Rockbridge alum, breaking tackles up the sideline. He's going for the score, but the ball comes out. Auburn jumps on top of it. That is ball game. Crazy finish out of Jordan-Hare Stadium today. These Mizzou players really emotional after that one. Mizzou falls 17-14 in its first road trip to Auburn in its first SEC game of the season. Despite the final turnover, Nate Pete had a big game on the ground with 20 carries for 110 yards. The Mizzou defense had 4 big sacks today and were legged by Tyron Hopper, sack and 8 tackles today. ABC 17's Chanel Porter was there for this game and has more on how the team is handling that loss.
Despite being down 14-0, the Tigers showed a lot of fight here today, putting themselves in a position that they could have won this game. With an insane overtime finish, a lot of emotions afterwards were high, and now the guys are focused on picking each other back up.
It's a growing process, right? Teams got to grow. Programs got to grow. 2 weeks ago, we got down 13-0 and didn't have the same mentality. This time we were down 14-0 and put ourselves in a position to win the game twice. So a lot of growth there. Now we got to finish.
We just got to stay together. It's disappointing, but it's, at the end of the day, we got another game next week. So we got to bounce back, come to work Sunday, and focus on our next opponent.
It's a game of inches. It's not on Pete. It's not on Mevis. It's a team sport. If you want to put it on anyone, put it on me.
Up next, Mizzou will return home to play the #1 team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs, next Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Reporting live at Auburn, Chanel Porter, ABC 17 Sports.
A lot of emotions from these guys after the game. You can watch those full interviews with Coach Drink and, of course, players on our website, abc17news.com.